Let's get on with this, shall we? Hi everyone, you wanted me to do a Q&A, and here I am doing a Q&A for the 100,000 followers on my Instagram. Thank you very much for that. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right into it. So I got your questions right here. First question is, are you okay? Yes. Let's leave it at that. Next question. What's your ritual that you do before you start making art? I make myself a nice drink, like tea with some nice spices, coffee. Sometimes it's just flavored water with some fruits in it. And I listen to a inspirational podcast, or I listen to some music. If you're interested in what kind of music I'm listening to when I'm drawing, I can put my Spotify playlist into the info box. I don't know what. Yeah. Art things that make you cringe hard. I don't even want to say it. People who are absolutely certain that to be successful as an artist, you have to be lucky. Not true. How did you find your art style? Because honestly speaking, it's so perfect and beautiful. Well, thank you. Honestly, I don't really think I have a style. I think it's an accumulation of me just constantly drawing and just not really caring about what other people do. I just draw whatever my brain spits out. And I think there isn't such thing as a style. I think that there is just I've been influenced by these type of creators, and I've taken these things that I really like and I've incorporated them into my drawings, and they keep switching and they keep changing, and I keep being influenced and I keep being inspired by people, and my style is ever evolving, and I think yours is too. I don't think that you have to beat yourself up over not having my style or someone else's style, but instead just draw whatever you think is pretty, draw whatever inspires you, and slowly things will evolve into your own little niche. As an artist, how do you bear with the pressure of social media? I'm not really pressured by it. It's my job, it's what I do. It's my responsibility, it's my duty, as it is my job. I'm earning money through it. So I don't really feel pressured to do what I do, because I love what I do, and I always look forward to treating you guys with new things. What are your aims for your art in the future? So, one is growing my Patreon. I have only recently started a sticker club. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that goes. Second, I would really love to make more videos. Right now it's very difficult. As you can see, I am a very shy and anxious person, so talking to a camera isn't the easiest thing. I don't really feel like I have anything of substance to tell you guys, but it is another way of distributing myself to the world and showing my art to the world, and if I'm not taking this opportunity, I would be stupid. So yeah, let's see how being an introvert and broadcasting yourself on YouTube is gonna turn out. Third, I would really like to get my work out into galleries. It is just a call into the void. They get so many messages that I'm just not really seen, which is fine. I'll just continue. Fourth goal would be to continue expanding my Etsy. I'm having a lot of fun putting my work onto Etsy. It is an absolute honor to see people buying my stuff. Like, it's mind-blowing, and like to see my work framed and just being appreciated so much is insane, and it gives me a lot of the gratification that I am looking for whenever I put my work out there. So thank you very much. So Patreon, YouTube, galleries, and Etsy. That's my plans for the future. What inspired you to draw? I don't know. I just do. If I don't, I get depressed and I feel like dying, so I'm not gonna stop. When did you start drawing professionally? That was right after uni. So it has been 2 years now. I've had my Etsy for a year, I've had my Patreon for a year, and yeah, so 3 more years to go to see if this is going to be successful. Any advice for when you can't get a drawing right, no matter how much you try? Yeah, there is a very good thing you can do. You take your drawing, you put it aside for at least 2 or 3 days, and then come back to it. Look at it, and maybe you can see some of the flaws, or you realize, oh, the idea that I had isn't really what I've been trying to put on the paper. Because oftentimes we feel like we have to finish something in like one sitting, and this limits us in the time that we give ourselves to properly think about our drawings. So right now, for example, I do have a drawing that I've been working on for almost a month, and I've been so stuck with it. I just can't figure out how I want it to look like, and so for now it's on hold, and I've been moving on to other things, and it's good to just not have it on your mind and just, you know, come back to it when you feel ready for it. It is often a good indicator that you're lacking some skill with which you can interpret your own ideas better. So just give it a bit of time and come back to it later. What made you create this Instagram account? Also, tips on how to grow one. To your first question, what made me create my Instagram account was well, just for fun. Met a friend of mine at a restaurant, and she told me about this new app like back in 2012, so my account is like 7 years old by now. And she was like, oh, like this is really cute, you can post your pictures and stuff, and we were both really into like Japan, Harajuku, like all that kind of stuff. Like I was super into Harajuku fashion, and so I opened up my Instagram just to share my weird hairstyles at the time and my strange fashion, and to talk to my friends. And at some point I started uploading my art on there, but not really thinking that anyone would really care, to be honest. And well, no one really did. Most of my career on Instagram has been with less than 2,000 followers, and only when I really started to realize that traditional careers don't fit me, and that I want to do this as a business, as a job, only then I started growing. And that is because I put a shitload of effort into it. So yeah, that's that. I'm not entirely sure if I want to talk about how to grow your Instagram account, because every single time I do, people get angry. They don't really want to hear what I tell them. They want to tell themselves that there is a higher power up there that stops them from growing their Instagram account, and then that's why they're not successful with it. And I've just kind of given up on trying to help people out with this, because they don't want to hear that they have to improve. And well, frankly, that's what you have to do. You have to constantly put yourself out there. You have to keep improving yourself. You have to want to improve yourself. You have to be constantly looking for people who can give you some proper criticism. Like, not... The problem is that when you have a small Instagram account, oftentimes you live in this like small bubble. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a small circle of friends, small circle of people that keep frequenting your account. That is all good and dandy, but these people often will not tell you when you're doing something that is hurting your account. Well, first of all, you have to ask yourself, why do you want to grow your Instagram account? Because if you just want to post art for fun, then you don't have to. You can just post your art, and you should be okay with not hundreds of thousands of people closely following what you put out there. However, if your interest is in earning money and in making a business, then you really do have to put some research in Google, read a bunch of articles. If you really want to do this, you have to put the proper research into it. And if you reach out to someone like me who's doing this as a job and you want my genuine opinion on this, please don't get angry, because I've been getting that a lot lately. There's so many people coming to me asking me, how do I grow my Instagram account? How do you get successful? And then I tell them, and then they get angry, and then they tell me that I was lucky for being in the position that I'm in. And well, that's kind of a bit insulting if you know me, and if you know how my career journey has been so far. You would probably agree with me that I'm the most unluckiest person that you can imagine, and that if something bad is going to happen, it is going to happen to me. And the fact that I'm still here making a business out of my art should show you that you can do it too. What words do you have for artists who are trying on here but aren't getting anywhere? Right, so we're back to this. Okay, let me give you things which you can immediately implement in order to be more visible. First of all is look at your art style and think very, very closely about what is it that makes your art yours. And once you find that, that is your niche. So if you really like drawing people with triangle noses, that's your thing, right? And people will recognize you for it. When I started out on Instagram, I was thinking, okay, what is my art? What defines it, right? And you can boil it down to interesting eyes, pretty women, sometimes nudity, and mental health. So these are the 4 things that define my work and with which I feel comfortable with and people will recognize. And if I would go and change that up, it would probably create a buttload of confusion. So that is my niche. As long as you enjoy it, go for it, right? And if you don't, then you will have to change. There's been a few artists who've done that. I think Torianne would be one of those people, and she has done it very successfully, but she's also admitted that it has been very difficult to ditch your art style, right? And it is very scary, and you have to be aware that if you focus and you set yourself on one thing, it is not going to be easy to change that up. So first one is, what is my style? And focus yourself on that. Second one is, how do I take my pictures? The quality of your pictures are immensely important. So just to give you some facts, is that if someone scrolls through Instagram, they give you less than a second to decide on if your art is worth looking at longer, and maybe if it is worth interacting with. So you have to think about, how do I take my pictures and how do I frame it, and what can I do to draw attention to it. You have to think about the rules of thirds, so that the way you, before I go too deep into this, just note to yourself rule of thirds and just look it up. Like, read about how photography works, why they put it into like specific perspectives, and why some compositions work better than others. There's the golden rule, and like all of these different things that play into this. And if you pay close attention to it and post pictures that follow those rules, I can guarantee you that you will have more interaction with it. It's also, what am I showing my followers? Is it digital art? Is it traditional art? Do I need to like aesthetically place anything? I mean, there is a lot of accounts who do that. I don't really do that because I think it's a bit pretentious and I don't need to have any accessories lying around and pretending like I've had a crystal next to my paper 24/7 as I was drawing this. No, I didn't, and here is my drawing and I'm going to show you exactly what it is, and that's that. But a lot of people value having all these little knickknacks around your drawing, and I'm only hurting myself at the moment because I'm so blockheaded and not wanting to do it. So you should definitely keep that in mind. So we have your style, the presentation, then it is the way you interact with people, which is incredibly important. Do not interact with bots. Do not do it. Do not interact with them. Do not follow them. Do not do it yourself. If I see yet another artist who believes that they are going to grow because they're going to spam their comments on anyone else's accounts, it is not going to happen. And I'm very sorry to tell you that, but it's not going to happen. The only thing that is going to happen is that you're going to attract people who are just as fake and are just going to follow you in the hopes that you're going to follow them back. But there's not going to be this like 1% of people that you want as an artist, which is true followers. The 1% are people who will follow you and support you regardless of what you put out. And these kind of people are literal gold. These are the people you're doing art for. And you wanna cater to what they want from you, what they appreciate. And you want to make them feel welcome, and you want to make them feel like it matters that they interact with you. Anyone who comments needs to feel like it matters that I interact with you, especially when you're a smaller account. Having connections with other artists and constantly like interacting and talking with them is key. I don't do it and I suffer a lot from it because I feel I hate socializing, I hate commenting, and it's only been giving me grief. And I could be a lot further now than I am if I wasn't so blockheaded about this situation. So definitely interact with the people that choose to come and follow you, that choose to like your stuff, that choose to comment on your posts. Participate in Draw This in Your Style events, which is currently super big. It will always bring in new followers that are open to find new people. Join giveaways, join events that require you to draw something, and do it for fun. Don't do it because you want more followers. And the last tip I can give you is to have a good feed. You know, have a good timeline. If people find your posts and your drawings and they go and browse your profile, they don't want to see your food. If you are already putting out there that you're an artist, they will not care about the stuff that you do in real life. So either you have to separate those two things, or you will have to live with the fact that you will constantly have these two worlds colliding of like, oh look, this is all my IRL content, and oh look, this is all my art content, and then both audiences are going to constantly clash with each other because the art audience is going to unfollow you because you post your food, and the IRL community is going to unfollow you because you post art. So it's like, it doesn't match well, except for maybe if you're a celebrity and people follow you regardless, but you know, that's, I'm not going to assume that here. So yeah, these are my tips for a successful Instagram account. I'm sure someone has asked this before, but do you think art school is worth the cost? So a lot of people will not like this. You do not need a degree to make art. You really don't. Please don't follow my lead. Don't make the mistake that I did of spending thousands upon thousands just to have a artistic degree, because most of the time they don't even teach you the basics, just the mere basics of what you have to do if you want to be an artist and what kind of responsibilities you would have. Also, they are very selective, and they're also very pretentious, telling you that anime isn't an art form. I mean, come on. As well as just general selectiveness when it comes to artistic styles is like, no, anyone can be an artist. How do you handle time, work, and art? Well, it's all I do, really. I get up in the morning, I start working, and then it's like a 9-to-5 job, you know. I have a journal, and that journal is always filled with a bunch of things that I have to do. I write down goals and all that kind of stuff. I write down the things that I've been doing that week, and I write a to-do every single week, just a general outline on what I have to do this week, and then every evening I look over that and I add or remove things that have either less priority or things that I've completed, and I'm adding new things that need to be done or something that is urgent or whatever, and that's how I manage my work. As I said, it's like a 9-to-5 job for me, except for that I don't really take a lot of breaks. I take a 30-minute nap every single day, which is less of a nap and more of a like thinking nap, where I just lie down and I think about anything that I need to do, and that helps me restructure and reorganize my thoughts, and after those 30 minutes I am ready to go for the rest of the day. And in the evening I meet my boyfriend, we cook, we watch some TV shows, we play some games, and rinse repeat. What is your tattoo policy? Can I have a local artist tattoo your work? Yes, you can. And I don't really want any money for it. So far, whenever someone has gotten something tattooed, I've just asked them to send me a small donation, like via coffee, that they can send me like 1 or 2 coffees or something, and pictures. I always want to see the pictures and I want to share them with people because it's freaking cool. I mean, hello, you're having my art in your body, it's insane. So I'm I don't really, I really don't mind. Go ahead, yeah. Whew, okay, wow. What's the biggest accomplishment and regret in your life so far? Oh my god. You had to throw that one at me, did you? Biggest accomplishment is probably the fact that despite all the issues and suffering that I've been going through, I've managed to build a somewhat successful business online, which I'm very proud of, and so far I consider my biggest success. So that's number one. And my biggest regret in my life, honestly, I don't really regret many things. I don't really believe in regretting. I believe more into learning from my mistakes. I guess my only regret in life is that I let my previous partner abuse me, and I've lost almost a decade of my life to it. So I guess that is my biggest regret. Yeah. I can now finally talk about it, which is, I guess, yay me. But I still struggle with it to this day, and I wish I would have been smarter a few years ago. So yeah, that is my biggest regret. What's your favorite comfort activity? Cooking. I really like cooking. I like spending my evenings with my boyfriend. It's very nice. It is probably the most comforting thing. And I like playing Minecraft. Who would have guessed? I mean, it's super in style now. Everyone plays Minecraft, eh? I like to talk to people online. I like to play games with them. I like peace and quiet and solitude in being isolated in my own little room. I like being here, which is probably also a very you can see as a comforting activity. I feel like drawing is very comforting. I don't think I would do it if I would consider it stressful. And I really like autumn. I like taking long walks. I like to, yeah, I think that's it. What kind of printer do you use for prints? I have an entire video about how I make my own prints, and I also mention what kind of printer I'm using. So if you want to like go and check that out, you can do that right here or wherever. What advice can you give young artists? We're back to the advice thing. First of all, again, I don't like giving advice because people get upset about my advice. But if you really want to hear it, just keep drawing. Keep drawing, keep practicing, draw every day for at least half an hour if art is what you genuinely want to pursue. If not, then don't let it make you miserable, and just enjoy drawing whenever and however you want. What keeps you motivated to carry on doing art? It is my livelihood, it's my job, and I don't know what I would do without it. Art is basically my life. It fulfills me in a way that I can not describe. It is my purpose. So here we are. Yeah, I think that was all the questions. I'm not sure. Maybe? Well, I'm gonna say these are all the questions, and thank you so much for sitting through this torture and listening to me rambling and being all awkward on camera. See you next time, maybe? Bye!